Oh no, don't drink that. You must not drink underground water like that. This is a familiar scene. However, a product made by a company in Busan is changing people's appreciation of water. This water product uses magnetic force to process water, and it's realizing great effects in farming. 이류면 충주, 충청북도. This is where Mr. Young-Gyu Jun has been growing organic vegetables for the last 6 years. In the 34 greenhouses on his 15,000 meter square of land, he is raising 36 types of farm products, including cucumber and other vegetables. Having left his life and soul behind to return to his original home, Mr. Young-Gyu Jun has been growing vegetables using organic farming methods. He reports a very shocking experience. Among all the lettuce he planted at the one time, the lettuce in one of the particular greenhouses suddenly grew so large he was unaware of its rapid growth.
I was very surprised. We didn't take a look in the greenhouse for the last few days, never imagining that the lettuce would grow so fast.
The lettuce appeared to be the size of a grown woman's waist, and the greenhouse resembled a dense forest. The lettuce in the other greenhouses, however, looked very different.
This lettuce had a 5-day head start on the other greenhouses. Although it had a difference of 5 days, it is big and firm. This is fully grown. This lettuce is from the same greenhouse. Look how all the leaves have grown regularly. This is ready to be harvested. The difference is definite. You can see the difference with the naked eye.
A single head of lettuce has over 30 leaves.
Have you ever seen lettuce like this? I've never seen lettuce grow so big and strong in such a short time. I've never seen lettuce this big in all my years of farming. Never. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32. I'm going to stop counting at 32. All the lettuce is this big. I have to throw it out because I missed the harvest.
Cucumbers are growing in the next greenhouse. Their stems were very narrow last year, but they are much thicker this year.
I think the number of cucumbers is increasing because the water is that much cleaner. Maybe it's the weather, because we did have a lot of sun recently. However, I think it's all due to this magnetized water. I can see that the plants are healthy because the vessel and stems are growing to the same height.
Also, you can see that the cucumbers are perfect and healthy.
Before, cucumbers that grew this perfect and healthy were very rare. After I used magnetized water, I could see that the cucumbers grew perfect and healthy. And because the leaves are that much bigger, I can see that they have absorbed a lot of sunlight. That's why I think the cucumbers are healthy.
Mr. Chun Young-gyu claims that this change occurred when he installed the water magnetizer to the pipes that collect underground water 6 weeks ago. As you know, water is an essential element in farming. He claims that among his 34 greenhouses, the 4 plant types grown in the 4 greenhouses that use magnetized water all exhibit the same changes.
As a result of using magnetized water, all the plants grew larger. I must take better care of them. I'm satisfied that all the plants are growing beautiful and healthy, even though I have to work harder. I'm working harder because I want to see my plants grow healthy.
The product value of our other two crops, rose and kale, has increased because this water achieved brighter and clearer colors.
I can see that the plants are growing perfect and healthy, and that they can be stored for a longer period of time. Since the magnetized water system is supplying clean water to plants that have a similar full growth size and weight, all of these plants are growing very healthily.
The water magnetizer uses magnetic fields to generate electromagnetic forces within the water. The minerals in the water are then converted to ions. This product was developed and patented by a company in Busan.
Water has an energy of its own. When a magnetic field is applied at a right angle to the water's flowing direction, the water particles break into even smaller particles. These small particles become water with a higher solvency and a greater cleansing effect with a higher saturation rate.
The reporting crew observed the magnetized water's effect on plant growth through an experiment. First, they put a potato and an onion into a petri dish of tap water and then with magnetized water under the same conditions and observed their growth. You can see that the stems and roots have grown much bigger when the potato and onion were in magnetized water.
With crop farming, the growing methods remain the same. However, magnetized water is more effective. This is because the salt hidden in the soil becomes leaches and makes the DO richer near the roots, as well as supplying a certain amount of nutrition. That is what makes crops grow healthier.
Magnetized water has been proven effective for increasing a plant's growth, for removing scales within boilers, rust in pipes, as well as preventing rusting. This is a swimming pool in Busan, where hundreds of people visit every day. It hasn't even been a year since it opened, but you can see that the circulation line around the pool is showing chlorosis, a sign of rusting. Chlorosis is caused by contact with human skin combined with the chloride used to sterilize the water. It can cause a damage that results in the replacement of swimming pool piping. At another swimming pool, which is 10 years old, the amount of chlorosis has been reduced dramatically after installing a water magnetizer. They are no longer using any bleach thanks to the magnetic water's cleansing effects.
The water being sterilized without the use of chloride. The monthly gas bill is about $8,000, so this saves us about $1,700 a month. We don't use much gas during the summer, and we expect that the savings will be greater during the winter.
And the swimmers are also feeling the difference of water through their skin. The water is clean and not at all viscous. It was very viscous in the beginning, but it just isn't anymore. Through an experiment of measuring the chlorine within the pool, the crew was able to see the effect of magnetized water. The pink water with a lot of chlorine also turned white after going through the water magnetizer and showed higher sterilization effect. Recently, water magnetizers were also used in cooling towers for air conditioning. It helps the water circulation by removing algae and water slime, which prevents the Legionella virus from forming. It is also said to reduce the oxidation effect of color dyeing.
It is most effective for removing the scales in the cooling tower. It also reduced the scales in machinery's piping when we were working.
As you can see, the water magnetizer's advantage is that it can be used anywhere that water is used, and it's easy to install.
Since the water magnetizer prevents pipes rusting, scales, and softens the water, and helps in the growth of animals and plants, it can be used in any place, from public baths, swimming pools, greenhouses, and animal sheds. The water magnetizer can be used anywhere that uses water.
The true virtue of the water magnetizer can be seen in our daily lives. When we use a water magnetizer in cooking, it enhances the food's taste, scent, and color, as well as softening the food. When we make tea, the tea using magnetized water boils faster and has a darker color than tap water. When doing the dishes, you can see that the water without any soap removes all the grease and makes it clean. When there's grease in a plastic container, I couldn't get all the grease out, even when I used a lot of soap. Now I barely use any soap, but the container is spick and span. Even the rice has a light blue tone, and it's cooked just right. The rice is cooked just right. That's it. The reason that magnetized water cleans stains well and makes a lot of bubbles is because the magnetic field purifies the water and an ion electricity is generated when the strong magnetic force is sent through the water at a certain speed. You can wash your clothes just as cleaning using half the detergent, and you can remove the smell of the detergent thanks to the sterilization effect. There used to be a lot of water slime in the bathroom after taking a shower, but there's barely any slime now. I've only used it for a few months, but I barely see any water slime. Also, my baby has atopic dermatitis and used to get rashes around the neck and joints. But it got so much better after using magnetized water to massage the baby. We no longer need any medical treatment. You know those small bumpy things on your face? Bumpy cells, I don't have them anymore. I have very dry skin. I used to have a lot of skin problems, but I don't suffer from that anymore. Also, my face doesn't feel dry. Customers also prefer the water magnetizer because it can be installed next to the water measuring unit in apartments, and you can remove it and take it with you when you move. We used to have a water filtration system before we used the water magnetizer. However, the old apartment was about the same size as this one. The water filtration system was taking up too much space, while the water magnetizer is so easy to install. It's great that it can be installed anywhere and that we can take it with us whenever we move. You have to call someone to uninstall other systems that cost money, not to mention the filter prices. But we can take the water magnetizer off easily when we move and install it in our next home. In a day when the difficulty of water shortages and pollution is growing worse, the water magnetizer can maximize the water's effect when using small amounts. This is the water of the future.
I think that Korea will have a lot of difficulty due to water shortages in the 21st century. And we need an effective water that can maximize its effects while using smaller amounts. Because we need a system that creates effective water. Samjung has developed the water magnetizer.
Water affects every single part of our daily lives. Polluted river water and the water we use for doing dishes and laundry is being reused for drinking water. It is time to solve the difficulty of creating safe water that we can drink worry-free. The magnetized water development is changing people's appreciation regarding water. Water is no longer a problem for others. It's becoming an issue for all our survival.